Okay, hello, and welcome to April. So we need to recap March to reset for April. Okay, so I am gonna kind of go over what comes to my mind for this and go with that, okay? So for the first thing I wanted to tackle was what I read. I read Throne of Glass, and I am almost done with Crown of Midnight. And both are really good. Throne of Glass was really good. It actually took me a while to get into it. I don't know if that's the critique across the board, but for me personally, it took me a couple chapters to get into it. But then towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to know what happens. So really loving that series. And so I'm just gonna read through that. And yeah, I have been listening to Mel Robbins' podcast. As you know, I really like Mel Robbins. One of the podcasts that I have highlighted from this month in March, my cousin told me about it. And it had Dr. Gabor Mate. If I'm mispronouncing that, I am so sorry. But basically, it was incredible. It was all about how physical ailments can show up from trauma. So if you're finding that in your midlife or any time frame you're noticing that you're experiencing physical ailments in your adult life, it could be from childhood trauma. And so I don't know, I don't want to give it all away, but please, if you are interested in that, really seek that out and listen to it, because man, it resonated. I was like, oh my gosh. It was also interesting because I am parenting from a place of wanting a secure attachment, that healthy, secure attachment with my children. It just made me feel, first of all, it made me feel validated, that these things that I've felt in my adult life that I never experienced, or I'm just all of a sudden realizing about myself, is derived possibly from my childhood, which makes sense, of course, but I don't know, when you hear a professional, a medical professional say the things, it makes you feel really validated. So that was a great listen. It also made me think about my parenting, my husband's it made me think a lot about how we are parenting our children and ways that things could show up for them based on our parenting styles. No one is perfect at parenting. We're all humans. And that human element, it also although there is so much power to the way that you parent, it also made me feel just try your best and try to seek out that help to heal yourself so that you can be a better version of yourself, for yourself, but also for your children. And so, I don't know, I really loved it. I loved it. And I actually probably will re-listen to it again, because I kept pausing it and re-listening to parts because I was just oh my gosh. I mean, it was just so good. So I think everybody comes from some childhood trauma. I don't think anyone gets out without it. But especially from what I'm coming into my adulthood with, it just really resonated, especially with the physical ailment side. Oh my gosh, I was like, holy moly. The next thing I wanted to talk about was finances. So we are chugging away. I am proud of where we've gotten. We've been paying off the smallest little credit lines and stuff. So that's felt really good. We did have spring break, but instead of doing a big trip, because we knew we were going to be doing a birthday Disney trip, and we just went to visit family, which still ends up being, quite a bit because you're traveling and all the things. But we did cut costs with not eating out as much and trying to just eat from the home and all of that. So I mentioned in last month that we had cut down our grocery bill. We are still doing that. I don't know the exact numbers, and I wanted to get this up before going through all of that, but it was really, really good in March for even having the trip. We have been very good and very diligent about keeping it to a minimum. Of course, in April, that we started off with a bang and we ate out quite a bit at the first week of April, but we'll get to that next month. But we kind of prepared ourselves financially for that big trip by cutting costs, and we have not had a date night, which stinks, but that kind of is, it is because we needed to really cushion ourselves for the trip in April. So feel really good about that. I feel like we're making really good habits, and it's becoming habitual to really plan out our spending and not make those rash little convenient trips. I mean, of course they happen. I mean, I'm a mother of 3 children, and convenience does outweigh sometimes the budget, but not nearly as much as it used to. I will also say with financials, we had to start planning for summer camps for the kids, and we sat down and really went over what was important to the kids to actually go to. And it was really funny to me that the kids really don't mind not going to camps. So we narrowed it down to a couple that they really, really want to do. We signed them up for those. We're waiting on a sign up for one of them. And I feel really good about like financially how much those are going to cost us. I mean, summer is always really difficult when you're 2 working parents, but I think Sean and I have a good tentative plan with our schedules, and it's just gonna be what it is. You know what I mean? We can't really afford to do full-time care for the kids. They don't really require it. Like, they're old enough to just hang out with me at home, and they're pretty good about realizing that like I have to work. So, you know, it is what it is. It's summer, you know? Journaling, oh guys, I am failing at journaling. That is one area that I have been very bad about. I have not been diligent about sitting down and journaling. I think I maybe journaled 5 days out of the entire month of March. And I don't know, I'm having a hard time with that. I'm hoping to pick it back up, but my mornings have been so intense. It's like the kids get off to school, I have my coffee, and then I'm plugging right into work because the kids have had so many like field trips and school stuff that I'm having to like plug into work and then go right into whatever they need or require. And so, yeah, that has definitely taken the back burner. So failing at that, but that's okay. I mean, like we always say, these are goals, and you know, we aspire to meet them, but if we don't, we have grace with ourselves if we can't do it all, you know, and most likely you can't do it all. And then the last thing is move my body. So I have not made it to the gym nearly as much as I would like to in March, but I have been walking a lot. So that feels really good. I definitely, you know, with Disney, we did Disney the first week of April. I'm not gonna get into specifics with that. I'll do that in my April one. But I mean, we averaged like anywhere between 18,000 to 20,000 steps a day. I definitely felt like I was in shape. I didn't like die. I was totally fine. I was exhausted, but it wasn't like my body was tired. It was like I was just tired, you know? So I felt really good about that. That was kind of what I was preparing for. I was like worried about, you know, just gassing out and not being able to do all of the things. And we kept up with the kids. So that felt really good. I've been walking, I've been doing the things. So that feels good. I definitely am just not doing as much as I would like to be doing daily, but we will get there. You know, I'm having grace with myself and trying to just move my body as much as I can. As far as new hobbies or anything like that, what did I do? I did try a new lasagna recipe this month. It was really yummy. I really enjoyed that. I added that to my new repertoire. I mean, it's very similar to my other lasagna recipes, but it was really yummy. I also, what else did I do? I did something else, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I tried a new, like a harvesty, rustic chicken noodle soup recipe. It was really good. So those were 2 new recipes, kind of just built on my current recipe I always use, but I wanted something different. I wanted a little bit more flavor for both, and I just loved those. So they were really good. And hobbies, I did some diamond art with my daughter this month, which was really fun and kind of therapeutic. So we have been enjoying that. That's something we kind of sit down and do together every once in a while. And I think that is all. We're getting into gardening season, so I'm getting a lot of ideas for some projects around the house to make the outside beautiful now that we're getting warmer weather. Today's really groggy and gross, but yeah, so I'm excited for that, and that will definitely be part of my April one. I'm sure my hobby will be gardening. I kind of hyperfixate on things and then move on. Yeah, so that's about it. I do have to go to an appointment, so I will wrap this up later. All right. Hello. So this is a couple days later. It's actually probably like a week later. And I was going to basically just wrap this up, let us know exactly what was happening, and finish up my reset. But I figured, like, I said as much as I needed to for my March reset, and I feel really good with where that ended. I don't know. I'm wanting to finish this video in a little bit of a different way. And I guess I just want to give this moment to chat a little bit about like where I'm at. Now it is like mid-April, and I mean, it's been a rough one. I feel like it's been rough forever, but especially since January. I just feel like life has been really heavy and it's been hard. And I kind of wanted to chat about it, I guess. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it in this video, because I feel like when you're doing resets and when you're doing monthly things, it's like at a baseline, and sometimes life is not baseline. And I realize that my ice maker is loud, so bear with that. But I feel like life is not always at a baseline, right? There's some times where you are coming at your life, at the things that you need to accomplish, at the things you need to tackle, like at a very difficult place. And I think that it's important to talk about that. And so I wanted to share how I've been feeling and what I've been doing to kind of try to like work through that. I feel like when you are a mom, it is impossible to take like mental health days, right? I mean, there is like a pandemic in motherhood of being burnt out and being overstimulated and overdone. But what do you do when you have nobody to come in and like help you? What do you do when you and your spouse are burnt out and you feel very overwhelmed and there's just nobody else to like release the pressure? There's no grandma, there's no grandpa to come in and help. And I'm genuinely asking that question because I feel like I'm at this age where it's like my kids are at this beautiful age, and I feel like in some ways it's easier, you know, it's more enjoyable to do things. And I love when life is good, it is so good, right? But when life is difficult and you're struggling and you don't have that slack, it's really hard. I provide care for my mom, and she is undergoing surgery, and it's stressful and it's a lot. Whenever my mom is going through these kind of things, I realize how much she relies on me and how I have no one to rely on. Like that, obviously you guys know I have Sean, my husband, he's incredible. But you know, we're both like working at full, like we are fully engaged. We are both giving it all. And it's just hard. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I'm sure there's many people out there that feel the way that I do. And so I don't want to like sit here and be like, I'm tackling goals or I'm not tackling goals, but that's okay, and not share this, because that's not an authentic representation of what my life looks like right now. It just feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. I'm sure a lot of people out there are feeling this. I just wondered, like, what do you do? How do you manage that? And yeah, so I don't know. I hate to end on that, but that's my question. That's my question for this month, because I'm like, yes, I could hire people, but I can't really afford to hire people with how much I make. And I feel like there's also a layered, like, yes, there's like a need for that help, but there's also a want. Like, there's also like this yearning for just having that type of support, like that unconditional love and that support of someone nurturing you as a parent when you're raising kids. And I don't know if people just aren't experiencing that kind of loss like I do, or if we're just not talking about it. You know, I don't think people understand how hard it is to raise a family when you're trying to give everything to them. I mean, I'm so proud of Sean and I, because we have done it. Like, we have done it for 11 plus years on our own. That's pretty incredible. But like, we're tired. And now, like, it's like those parents need help. And you're like, it's hard. It's hard to look past like the neglect of you and still provide care for them. And that's just me being very honest and vulnerable. And I don't even know if I'll share it. I don't even know if I will edit this into this vlog or video. But I also feel like there is a need to talk about it, because I'm experiencing it. It's a big part of my life right now. And it's a lot of pressure for like Sean and I, because when one can't, the other has to. And it's like, we really realize it on the days where we're juggling things, and like when we just feel that void, right? Like on a normal day, on a good day, like it's fine. It's just on those days. And it's like funny, because Sean provides so much more than most husbands, and I know that's stressful for him and his job and all of the things, but it's like I can't be two places at once, you know? And it's hard. So I don't know. I guess I wanted to share this in case you are in that position, just to know that you're not alone, and that there are people out there that just have no village. Like, it's like I have people, right? Like, but it's just like, it's hard. It's hard to explain it. So that's it. My question is, what do you do? What do you do? And how do you manage it? And yeah. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be kind to one another and love your faces. Bye, guys.